What about the fact that new gambling laws give Blackpool the green light to become a British Las Vegas? What do you make of that? Are you a gambler?
Little bit when I go on holiday, like going in the arcade and having a little flutter.
Sure.
What's your favourite?
I have a go on the, you know, the fruit machines.
Yeah.
There's a good one called The Simpsons.
Right.
Is that your favourite?
Yeah, it's quite good.
Is that a tie-in with the TV show The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will they make Blackpool the next Vegas? I don't think so.
No, nor
Can't
do
see it
I.
happening.
No. You been to Blackpool?
Yeah.
What was it? Was it anything?
It's a bit rank.
Is it?
It is a bit rough.
Okay.
Needs a lot of work doing on it.
Yeah.
No, that won't happen.
Okay.
And you're not worried about this encouraging gambling, generally? Gambling's not a vice you're concerned about?
If you're a gambler, you're a gambler. Do you know what I mean? If Blackpool isn't done up, they'll go somewhere else to have a flutter.
Sure.
So it's not going to make any difference.
Okay.
No.
Okay, it's really good. What do you make of the So Solid crew's Ashley Walters being jailed for 18 months? Obviously not a very good example to his young fans.
He should have got more.
Do you think?
I had a dream about him the other night.
Go on.
About the group itself.
Okay.
I had a dream that...
Were they all there? Because there's a
Yeah,
lot of them.
all of
I couldn't remember all their faces. The feature in a dream.
I had a t-shirt on.
He had etc.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
two of them had etc. Yeah.
I had a t-shirt on.
You had a t-shirt on?
Yeah, and it said on my t-shirt, So Solid Poo. And I was walking down the street and they came towards me. And they were just about to beat me off
That's
the
a
way.
great dream.
That's amazing.
That's an amazing
I love that.
dream.
We've all
For a
had
30-year-old.
We've all had that anxiety dream. Oh my goodness, what if I meet the So Solid crew and I'm wearing a
God.
t-shirt that slags them off?
Oh, I don't believe it. Yeah, you know, yeah.
So what happened? Did you get beaten up in the
It was
dream?
one of them where I woke up. Do you know I've been telling you that I keep getting them things where you feel like you're falling?
Oh, yeah.
It was the same sort of thing. It's
You
like,
know I'm not a real psychiatrist, so you should, you know
No,
what I
but
mean?
you do know a lot about a lot.
Yeah, I do, thanks very much.
And, you know, if I'm at home talking to Suzanne about something and I don't know the answer, I think, right, I'll ask Ricky that one
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But you know that, I think you might have mentioned before that apparently if you die in a dream, it means that you're dying in real life.
Yeah, well, that's it. If you don't...
But apparently if you get beaten up by the So Solid crew in a dream, it means you're being beaten up by them in real life.
Yeah, that is true.
You probably woke
a
up
lot of
with
people
blood in your
do. Yeah.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
So, yeah, lock him up for longer.
Okay. Finally, what do you make of Halle Berry becoming the first black woman to win the Best Actress Oscar? Did you see her speech?
Got on my nerves.
Did it?
I mean, you know, it's good that she won. You know, it's nice for anyone to win an award.
Yeah.
But she did go on a bit. And, you know, I've been in that same sort of position.
What? Placing an Oscar?
Well, I got, what they used to do at school is,
Okay.
if you did a full month without being off, you got a gold certificate.
Okay.
And I did a month once without having a day off. And
Sure.
I went up, and I didn't make a fuss.
You didn't start crying.
Go on, play a record, mate.
Well done, though. Were you the first kid in your school to do that?
I don't think anyone else got the certificate. It was only because I was never in. They tried to encourage me.
It was just for you. They mounted an entire ceremony just to encourage you.
Wise words there from Bella Sebastian on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Well, I mean, it is indeed wise words, Rick. I'm worried that people are going to get out of the office now and into the sunshine, not be listening to the show.
There's always the transistor radio.
That's true enough. You're heading down to the park. Take
well,
one along.
it is time.
Keep it low, though. Don't want to irritate other people.
No, yeah. And if you do want to say him, spit on him, it's better.
Exactly.
And kick 'em and throw little rocks.
Exactly.
With me, Karl Pilkington. We're into this, way into the second month of the education of Karl. As you know, Karl got 1 GCSE in history, and we've been cramming, haven't we?
Oh, Rick, before you mention that, can I just say something? Obviously we always do this thing with the Sun, White Van Man, where we read this thing out from the Sun and query Karl, and I was out with some friends last night, and my friend Dan always listens to the show, and he said, Karl, you know, I love the bit when you answer questions in the Sun. Why do you ever know what the questions are before they're asked, or is that your first answer? And Karl said, no, that is it. They don't let me see what the questions are first. They don't show them to me, and I always get really anxious and get really paranoid. And I was just wondering, have you seen the error there, Karl? Have you seen the mistake you've been making? Right? You're worried that you didn't get the questions beforehand, right?
What? How could you
maybe combat that, do you think?
How could you combat that if you're really nervous? You know, coming
Maybe you wanted to sort of have some views or ideas beforehand.
It's your error, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's your show. If you want to like take a chance with me.
No. His point is this: that if you're really worried about it, how could you get hold of those questions in advance? Is there any way you could get hold of those questions in advance?
Yeah, but is it always in today's? Is it always in Saturdays?
Yes.
So they don't do that every day of the week?
They do, but I always take it from this Saturday.
Right, well, yeah, but that would cost me money. I'm not on enough as it is working here on a Saturday.
Okay.
How much is the sun?
30p.
Yeah, well.
You're not made of money. I understand.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 40p on a Saturday. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, you were studying Aesop's fables, weren't you, this week? Now, I'm gonna be very liberal here and let you talk about it. It's not a test. I'm not, hey man, just like chill out. I'm not this like rigid sort of, box in society. Just tell us your views. Just tell us your vibe on Aesop. Tell us something. What have you learnt from these fables?
He, made a bit of money out of something that's quite simple.
Yeah, I don't know if he did make any money out of it. I mean, I think it was published like thousands of years after his death, but go on.
Yeah, they're just little stories. I mean, enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Didn't learn anything from them.
Or did you see? Because it's teaching through sort of like metaphor and analogy, and maybe it all seeps in and it's all subliminal, and maybe in a way your subconscious is teaching you.
No, it's silly, Rick, it's silly.
If the stories were done in like a real way, that there's like a man and a woman, and it's a little story that something happened to them in life, then you learn something. But it's all about, a gorilla and a fox are walking through the woods. How often does that happen?
Sure. So you're saying if it was more like
if it was more true to life,
if it was more like,
maybe,
if it was more like
yours.
real stories, like a kid on his grifter and a magpie pecking at his head, or two frog boys with webbed hands. I mean, if it was real stories from real life
that people could believe, actually happened,
maybe it would teach us something.
But why not do that? Like, take a real situation, say like the So Solid Crew guy,
yes,
going down for carrying a gun. Use that in some way. Do you know what I mean?
As a warning, maybe about carrying guns.
What about something like if you carry guns and that is illegal, you could have some sort of punishment?
Yeah, that sounds
good.
So
it
doesn't bother you then that the fact that these fables have been used for many, many generations to educate maybe young children or even older people, the fact that they've served a brilliant function and they've become classics, that doesn't bother you? You've seen through them?
Well, they don't always work.
Okay.
When I was out with Rick the other day, he brought one up.
Oh, I told him the one about the two mice, the industrious mouse who throughout the summer he would be storing berries, nuts and berries, and he'd be storing it, and the other ones just be eating off the trees and running around and having a laugh, and they go, well, you're going to become hungry. He goes, oh, I'll worry about that when it comes to it. And they'd do that, and he'd be storing his nuts and berries, and autumn came and the mouse was still playing and not doing anything, and then winter came and the silly mouse was like shivering, and he went and knocked on the mouse's door and went, I'm freezing and I'm starving, and the clever mouse said, well, I told you, didn't I? You should have been storing your nuts through winter like I did. Come in and share mine. And, what did you say, Carl?
Well, and the moral of that is whatever.
Just be careful. But my thing is that it's not very good, because the moral of that is do what you want, and there's always a do-gooder, a share there.
Sure.
Yeah. But the way I think, which is more sort of 2002, the ending should have been, the guy with all the berries should have been going, oh, I'll be alright come the winter. I've got loads of food, I'll be safe. But then, as he's going into his little hut at the beginning of the winter, some sort of bus or something comes and kills him. Right. And it's like...
You should have partied hard, because you might die.
Yeah. Enjoy life whilst you've got it.
Yeah. Okay, and if winter comes, just starve to death.
Well,
worry about tomorrow.
Okay. I'm wondering if there's a new book here. I really am wondering if there's a Karl's Fables.
He's been coming out with some all week. He keeps going, well, that's a fable, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's your favourite fable in there? Have you learned anything from this book? Is there one fable you liked?
Yeah, I mean,
what did you like?
They're all alright.
What did you like?
You've thrown it on me now, there.
Didn't you like one about a crab, you said?
No, that was the one about messing about on a cliff edge or something. Don't mess about on a cliff edge.
Well, what was that?
I don't know. There's not many around here, so I didn't take much interest in that one. You know what I mean?
God. I'm doing my best here.
You don't remember any?
Here's one that was quite nice. There was a belly, like your stomach.
Yeah.
And it's this belly on a pair of legs. And the legs was saying, I'm more important than you because I carry you around. And the belly said, yeah, but, if it weren't for me, holding all this food, you wouldn't have the energy to walk around.
Yeah. And
that means, rather than working on your own, it's best to work in a team. Keep him hooked, right?
Yeah.
We've still got a song with a story in it.
Yeah. You don't want to play Babushka, do you? He doesn't like the idea of Babushka. I told him that was a story.
Yeah.
And, he doesn't like it. Devil went down to Georgia. Someone sent in. He's looking for a soul to steal.
Yeah.
Doesn't like it. Why don't you like that?
Do you know the song?
Not particularly.
Right, it's a song about a lad who goes into a pub on a normal night, and
it's in sort of the deep south of America, New Orleans, something like that. It's you know, it's not the old Kent Road.
Right. Okay.
Okay, go on.
goes into a pub. There's a devil in there who's getting a bit cocky. He's had a bit to drink, and he's saying, "Do you want to sort of gamble your soul away with me, and we'll see who's best at playing the violin?"
Yeah.
And I think the lad wins in the end, but it's not real enough. Whereas the one.
Oh! What? Not like the Shadow that got fed up and started pushing kids off bikes?
Rick, I think you're
In
referring
Boston.
to stuff that no one made sense of last week.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we should
okay,
refer to
okay,
last
let's
We're on to another feature.
Oh, what is this?
This one is.
Rick, were you not at the planning meeting?
What is this? Go on.
This is, that song's got a good story in it.
Oh, is this that? Oh, God.
So tell us the rules.
Right, the rule is that it's songs that we play on the show every week, and there's a lot of music out that they just keep saying the same
Oh,
thing over and
just,
over.
what is it? What's
It's
the song with the story this
with
week?
a good story.
What's the song with the story this week? Just say it.
It's Gene Pitney, 24 Hours from Tulsa.
Oh, I'm really sorry about this. If you're an XFM listener, we gotta listen to this. Go on.
Well, do you know what it's about?
Yeah, isn't he trying to get back to his girlfriend?
Yeah, he's been working away. Lives in Tulsa. He works quite far away,
Right.
and he's
Will
coming
this
back.
save us having to listen to the song?
Well, it's always good to sort of
Hear
tell us
the
about-
story before you hear the story.
It's like you know.
Sure.
you
I
read-
like this before a film. Yeah,
No,
go on,
you
go on.
you might read the book before you see the film, type thing.
Yeah,
So
never in my case.
he's working miles away. His missus is in Tulsa. He's driving back, and he can't wait.
He's
to
only
see
about 24 hours away, and I remember.
He's about 24 hours away, and he's a little bit tired on the way home. He's thinking, oh, I don't want to look a mess for when me missus sees me. So he says, right, I'll stay at a motel, get some energy and that, you know, for when I see her, have a
Nutrigrain
shave.
bar.
So he pulls over at a motel, and he's locking his car up, getting his suitcase out the back. There's a woman in the car park. He's like, oh, she's alright. She looks at him, he thinks...
XFM 104.9.
I don't think the suitcase in the boot is mentioned in the song. I think that's maybe a 12-inch mix or something. I've not heard that.
Well, basically, right...
Oh,
so
I don't
long story
remember-
short-
I'll play the record, for Christ's sake! Let them listen to it!
I don't remember him saying, cool, she looks alright in the record.
Yeah. 24 Hours from Tulsa, Gene Pitney, song with a story.
You are quite upset by the lyrics of that song, aren't you?
I just think it's a bit annoying that, right, he loved this woman.
Yeah.
Everything's going fine. He's only 24 hours away from home. I don't know what sort of distance he's done. But he can't wait to get home. And all it took was some woman in the car park to sort of
Give him the eye.
give it an eye. And all the like the good times he's had with his missus go out the window. And I don't know.
That's the dangers of falling in love with a prostitute. What I like about it though is the fact that he's writing this to his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like talking about rubbing it in. I was kissing her and getting off with her. We were having a wild
Didn't
time.
take as
I
long
was
as
going
Carl did
mental on
explaining it, though. Yeah.
But did you hear the very end? Because
Yeah.
he's the loser. Because he said, and he can never go home again.
Yeah.
So even though he's got this new girlfriend and that, he can't see his old mates.
He has
anymore.
falling in love with her.
Can't
hasn't
see
he?
his old mates anymore, he said! He can't see his old mates anymore!
Yeah,
I'll
it's a
tell you-
sobering lesson.
I'll
though,
tell you a
'cause
song-
next time you stop at the Granada services on the way back from, you know, Swansea,
I'll
be
tell you,
careful.
there was a song that's a bit like that by Jim Reeves, probably out about the same time, a little bit before, right? It was just called, just 100 miles from Mary Ann, right? And, it was him and his horse going through the snow, and he was just telling
He
them,
stopped at a little chef.
No, yeah, he fancied another donkey. No, but, it's really sad. It used to make me cry when I was little, because he got there, right, and he wouldn't leave old Ben, the horse, and he dies in the snow, and then so he dies in the snow.
He's gone again. He's gone again. I get the same way, teary-eyed, with two little boys.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
Why not?
It's just...
Do you think I'd leave you dying when there's room on this horse for two? Climb up here, Jack, we'll soon be flying back to the ranks so blue. It was just like when they were playing with the little horse's head, when they were little, and he was a soldier, and he helped him, and he returned the favour in a war, which to me is a bigger favour than just letting him have a go on a hobby horse, but, a lot braver, if you know. Yeah, last number one of the 60s as well. Christmas 1969.
And it's, of course, based on truth. That's a history lesson right there. It is based on fact. It's a famous person. I think it was
Cromwell.
Winston Churchill and Cromwell.
Yeah, it's Winston Churchill and Cromwell.
Cromwell and Winston Churchill.
Yeah, they were both lived ages ago, so they lived at the same time. Literally ages ago, so they lived at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, that's it then.
Is it?
Yeah.
Were you listening to anything we were saying then, Carl? Did you understand any of that me and Steve were just chatting
You just
about
saying
then?
that Rolf Harris did a good song about someone who's got to carry on a horse.
Right, and what was about the stuff about Cromwell and Winston? What do you think that was about?
I missed that.
We're doing humour, we're doing a little bit of humour. It was a satire on you saying age is not being specific. Do you like that stuff we do?
Yeah. That's it then.
Not just a cat looking out a window at a dead mouse or something. You can go, come here! And it's just looking at the mouse it could eat. You wanna press the buttons and finish, don't you?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Play a record or?
No, that's it. It's ads and that's it.
Okay. Great, goodbye.
What a wonderful ending. Got anything lined up?
Yeah, we've got the song with a story in it.
Come on, Carl, let's do something. Quick, play a record.
Song with a story in it.
But never
this
mind
week.
that, just, they're listening. We discussed this off air, come on. Play a record.
Right, it's
Song for-
Kinks.
Kinks.
It's a song with a good story in it. You got to listen to the words.
Carl, what was that? That was your little song with a story,
That's
wasn't
another little feature that we do every Saturday. Little
So
song.
make sure you tune in.
It's a song that's got a good story in it. There's a lot of music about these
What's
days.
that story about then? What's that story
You
about?
don't know what they're going on about. Whereas that, classic from the Kinks, called Lola,
Yeah, what's it about?
I'd listened to it for the first time properly this morning,
Yeah.
and what I've worked out from it is, there's a fella who goes out for a normal Saturday night out, he's in Soho,
Yeah.
he's having a Coca-Cola or whatever, and
Cherry Cola, yeah.
he sees this woman, and he thinks, yeah, she's alright, won't mind a bit of that. So he wanders over, and he sort of gets talking to her, he looks at her, she's got a great figure, nice face and all that,
Lovely knob.
and she speaks, and he goes, oh God, got a bit of a bloke's
Frog in the
voice.
throat, yeah.
Got a bit of a voice like a bloke. But he thought, but, you know, that's her only down point.
Sure.
So he dances around with her, and I think he sits on his knee, I think he said.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turns out it's a fella.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
A sobering lesson.
Yeah.
What do you take from that?
look, always sort of, if you think you might be talking to, a
bloke in
who's
drag.
dressed, just look at his sort of Adam's apple. And he'll probably have a hairier arse than a woman.
Yeah, I think you've gone too far then, though. I think you're already getting too close.
It's a bit late to pull out.
No, pun intended, definitely.
There was a pun intended.
Oh, was it? Alright, was it?
Yes.
Alright, okay, we don't be disgusting then.
No, you don't.
I do like a good track. I don't like everything that comes out and everyone raves about.
Yeah, you thought the iPod wasn't worth it because you named the 5 tracks you'd like. What was it? It was In the Ghetto, Babushka, Living in the City. What was the other one? Killing a Georgie, and there was one other one or something. And you just only like songs with a story.
Yeah, but then there's a reason to listen to it, isn't there?
Well,
when
no,
you've got
only
a story
once.
going on. No, because you might forget the ending. Listen to it again.
Yeah,
But
you
anyway,
might, yeah.
you've been listening to Babushka quite a lot, is that right? Because you've really got into your head now, you're trying to decipher
Well,
the
when
story.
I've been sort of asking for songs with stories, people have texted in, emailed in and whatever, and I've had a couple, you know, last time we did the show. So I've gone, oh right, that sounds interesting. And Babushka, when I was away on holiday, I listened to it a few times because I like the story. It's a good little story going on.
You got some thoughts on it though, have you? Couple of questions.
Will we have a listen
Well,
to
let's
it?
have a listen to the track, and then I know you've got some queries you'd like to raise.
It's just about a woman in it who, I don't know, she's ugly or something, aged badly, and her husband gets bored with her. Have a listen, see what you think. Right.
XFM. You're listening to Magic 105.4. That was all the way back to 1979. Kate Bush, Babushka.
So, we would like your suggestions for songs which have stories in them, which may entertain Carl. They could shoot to the top of his list.
What do you think of that, Carl? That as a little story there.
I like it, but
So she tests her husband. Yeah, she writes him letters. She gets a letter back. It's a pseudonym. Babushka's her pseudonym. It's not a real name. Her real name is Molly Strank from Ealing. And Eva responds. She goes, "Oh, he's you know." So in real terms, he's having a bit of an illicit affair behind her back 'cause she doesn't know it's his wife. So she goes, "Oh, well, I'll take this a bit further. See how far I go." He turns up. She turns up, he gets it on with her, and he's falling for her because she's acting like she used to act, you know.
was he just playing along with it? Was he like,
No, it's not, because they'd have said that in the song. They don't leave it up
some
to...
people do that, don't they, to
Well,
sort
it
of start
wasn't.
the
Kate
relationship
Bush would
up.
have said, and by the way he's playing along, she'd have given us a clue. He's not. He's fallen for it. She went along incognito. He thought it was another woman.
But how much work can you do to yourself to, say if, like, I wrote a letter to Suzanne,
Yeah.
right, saying,
She'd know it was you. It'd have egg stains on it. It'd be spelt wrong.
No, but-
and you'd
but, you
sign
know,
it Carl,
I wrote
crossed
to,
out Babushka.
I wrote to, I won't pick Babushka. That's a ridiculous name. That wouldn't have worked anyway. You just get a vision in your head of, I wouldn't have answered a letter from someone called Babushka.
It's not the point. If Kate Bush is listening, please call in, because I'd love her to have a conversation with you. I mean, that would be great. Forget Helmut. No, Helmut, you keep trying. The fat German. We want Kate Bush and a fat German.
What I mean is, though...
Now, wait a minute. What worries me is he didn't answer the last phone call. What if Kate Bush does for me? If anyone knows Kate Bush, give her a call now. She's probably not listening. She's probably doing yoga or something, I imagine, or making a lentil soup, or maybe just like repotting some plants, right? Or practicing piano, right? But if anyone knows Kate Bush, got a number, call her up now, say, tune into XFM, there's a little bald mank fella wants to talk to you about Babushka, right?
But how much...
But Helmut, don't worry, you'll get your chance. The phones are going. That could be Kate Bush. That could...
Don't worry about it.
That could be Kate Bush.
I know for a fact it isn't.
Okay, answer it. Dissing all his mum and everyone.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cussing in there, which they bleeped out, thankfully.
Carl's in a bad mood already. He's been in about 3 minutes and he's in a bad mood, getting stressed. If you can't hack it, leave. What's the matter with you?
No, I'm just saying. It's been... I was meant to enjoy last Saturday off and I didn't.
Why not? Why is that our fault? Because you weren't here?
Just because... I don't know, but...
Are you not in the Christmas spirit?
Why didn't you enjoy last Saturday?
What did you do? I went all the way back up north again, right? Because it was Suzanne's dad's birthday, right? I was busy last week, didn't have time to get him a present or anything.
Didn't have time to get him.
So I got to Euston Station, bought a card for him, which was a Christmas card, so he wasn't happy because he was saying it's my birthday, and I said, well, I won't be seeing you again. So I've got a joint card, and then we went out.
Did you get him a present?
Well, no, because we went out on Saturday night for something to eat at this pub that he likes. It was nice steak and onion rings, right?
Lovely.
So he should have been happy anyway.
Yeah.
But
Well, you paid for it.
No.
But you should have been happy anyway.
Suzanne paid for that because it is her dad, right, not mine. So I said, all right, what can I do? I said to her. So she said, just buy a few drinks or something. Anyway, I didn't get around to getting drinks.
I can't believe it.
Can't believe it.
round
to getting the drinks.
Right, so I said, right, I'll pay for the cab. Right?
Oh, what a lovely Christmas gift that is.
Yeah, £2.50.
I paid, no, it was like 3 quid there, 3 quid back.
So 6 quid you spent on him?
Well, no, I spent more. See, that's what he said. He said,
get the Bolton and back, can't you, for that?
He said, oh, you've spent on me 6 quid for my birthday. I said, no, I haven't, because I gave the taxi driver a tip.
I'm a little bit worried about his attitude as well. Because even if, I mean, that is a stingy present, but you don't say...
Well, I mean, let's be honest, that's the worst Christmas gift ever, because, I mean, you're pretty bad, like we discussed in the past, but at least you spend a bit of money.
Yeah.
It's just thoughtless.
Yeah.
This is nothing.
I know.
You haven't given him any time. I mean, I would...
And I knew my demographic. They loved it, my family. They couldn't believe their luck. You know.
Well, a tenner.
You spent a tenner on him?
Well, the cab fare was 6 quid.
But the thing is, I don't think he's saying that. I think it's the fact that this is like, you know, frittering away in everyday life.
Kind of
he would have loved to, I'm sure he would have been appreciative of a lovely £10 gift that you cared about and bought. A book, he probably likes Fly Fishing, doesn't he, by J.R. Hartley. If you'd have bought that, he'd have gone, that's what I was looking for. Or what I was looking for, Carl. Bloody hell, Carl, you little bald twat. That's just what I wanted. So, alright, so just calm down.
So what have you got planned for Christmas? Is this what, I mean, are you doing the same approach with
Carl,
Suzanne?
excellent, you paid me milk bill for this week. That were reet nice.
I'm spent this year.
So have you planned anything for Suzanne, or are you just...
Yeah, I'm taking her out Christmas Day for something to eat.
Well, does she know that? Was that?
She's working today, so she, you know, so...
Right, okay.
So what Christmas gift have you got?
That's it, I'm taking her out.
What, you haven't got a present?
No, because we spent a lot.
Don't forget, that's half yours, though. You're going to be eating. You're not going to just be sitting there watching her eat, going, "Oh, I'm hungry, but I spent all." You're going to be eating as well. That's half yours.
So she's got nothing to unwrap.
He's like a cat who's been hit.
She's got nothing to unwrap. There's nothing. She's going to hand something over to you, because I've met the woman. She will. She'll hand something over. You'll open it. You'll love it.
I might get something today.
You shouldn't take me to begrudgingly persuade you to do it.
God.
Yeah.
Right,
so...
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and stick in some, Christmas songs. We're not playing all Christmas songs, but I've brought in a couple. So this is Christmas, John Lennon, The River, Joni Mitchell, Fairy Tale New York, one of the best Christmas songs ever. Oh, well, what about a bit of Pretenders? That's a good one, 2,000 Miles.
Let's hear it.
Pretenders, 2,000 Miles on XFM 104.9. This sort of Christmas edition. We're not here next week, are we?
No.
Carl is, aren't you?
Well, you are in a way.
I was doing a best of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it a best of?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Have you been putting it together?
Not yet.
Okay. You want to get
I'll do it today. Tell me what bits you want in it, and I'll sort it out.
It's not for me
All
to
the
say,
best
is it? Yeah, it is the best stuff.
Well, maybe people could email in with their highlights of the year for them. I'm trying to think what they were. I mean, mostly talking to Carl.
It'd be mostly Carl, wouldn't it?
Mostly Carl, gibberish from Carl.
Oh, I think it'd be an awful lot of educating Ricky from Carl.
Well, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you've got any thoughts and stuff you'd like to hear. Again,
Is there anything you'd like to hear of Carl saying something stupid, me and Steve laughing or slapping him?
Yeah.
That's basically the competition, isn't it?
Well, there's a couple of instances where I tried to kiss him, I think, and you encouraged me.
Yeah.
Those are some highlights for me.
I wish I'd have videoed that.
Yeah, so do I.
You mentioned educating Ricky. We've only got, do you know, we normally have like 3 instalments.
Yeah.
We've only got 2 today.
Why?
Why?
What happened?
Just,
Well, you clearly weren't busy Christmas shopping, so what's the
Yeah. Yeah.
well, like I say every week, it's a bit of a struggle finding stuff that I can teach you. But at the same time, what we have got, we've started the feature, I teased MTV with it, right? So I thought I'd best start doing it before they get someone like Zane Lowe presenting it or something.
Yeah.
So, do we need them?
Do we need them? And
Yeah.
you should explain do we need them for those that don't like the show.
Well, it's sort of education about animals and stuff, and if we need them. So, like, David Attenborough once said, you can get rid of people off the earth and it would carry on, there's no problems, but, you know, get rid of a monkey and you could have problems on your hands. So, I'm
Is that a direct quote from Attenborough's current
It was
autobiography?
like something like that.
I think so, yeah.
So what I've done today, right?
He always starts having it with, right, so then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And he always ends things, you got yourself all sorts of problems.
yeah. So that's done. That's coming up. Enjoy that. Enjoy that.
I've spoke to a woman about jellyfish.
Oh yeah, because I know you're not a fan.
Not a fan of them, so we'll be speaking to an
Women or
expert.
jellyfish?
This is a woman.
Either.
So that's jellyfish.
Yeah.
So we'll be sorting that out before 3 o'clock. We'll be finding out if we need them.
That one to bed.
He's great, and he's great.
And then we've got a Christmas edition of Rockbusters, which I found out yesterday.
Go on.
Channel 4 have ripped it off.
Go on.
It's on their teletext thing.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, on their teletext page, someone said.
What are they doing then?
Like Rockbusters, they're copying the format.
You sure they're not copying Blockbusters?
No, it's someone said it's a cryptic clue of a band and that, and initials, and you work it out.
That is despicable. I mean, we should investigate this.
So they've fundamentally ripped off the idea of being allowed to do a cryptic clue to guess a band.
Yeah, but they sort of clever cryptic clues.
Oh, so they certainly ripped you off then, have they?
I'm just saying.
Hey, I should just point out, because it's Christmas time, we've had an email from Dickie Anderson.
Oh,
Whee!
Dickers!
Yeah, RA is, well, he's, I suppose he's a long-time listener.
Yeah.
And he emails us most weeks. Ricky, if, as I suspect, I'm your only listener, I wouldn't bother with your show today, as I've got to attend some family Christmas nonsense at Auntie Marion's house. That's from Dickie Anderson, and he's good because considering he hates the show and everything we stand for, he does take the time to email every week.
That counts. That counts to advertisers.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot like him. As we've also had a lovely Christmas card here from Alexandra, right? Who's wishes that she loves the show. She loves you, Carl, and she's enclosed some biscuits for you to save you a bit of money because she knows you goes out and get your own biscuits. And we've got some a lovely little packet of Fox's
Well, why don't you wrap
Creations.
them up and you can give them to your girlfriend? Don and Blitzen from the About a Boy soundtrack by Badly Drawn Boy.
Christmas theme there. Christmas theme there.
You spotted the Christmas theme.
Yeah. Carl's not really in festive mood, but
I can't imagine Christmas is your time of year, is it, Carl? Well, I'm not sure any time of the year is, really.
I liked it when I was about, I think when I was about 7 I enjoyed it.
was that the one? Was that the year, the big year for
You
you?
get loads of stuff, you don't have to worry about anyone else, but once you've, like, got a job.
What did you get when were you doing your paper round? How old were you then?
I was about 13, 14.
Well, that was then you were a man, weren't
I
you?
had to buy stuff.
Oh.
But you're still not
You're
having
quite
a
a
good
selfish
time.
man, aren't you? I didn't realise this.
No, it's just that
And
Christmas.
that's coming from him, Carl.
My dad always said.
Oh, right, steady on.
Dad said Christmas morning was for, like, you know, for me. So he used to stay in bed. So he never.
That's brilliant. That's a great thing to say, isn't it? Yeah. Christmas morning's for you. Run wild. Do what you want. Just don't bother me.
I'm going to Honolulu for 2 weeks.
That's great. Dad, it's Christmas. Do I have to do anything? No.
So my mum used to get up because she used to like to see my face light up, you know, when I open my presents. And then,
to keep the fireworks.
and then, then I'd have to go to my bedroom from about 6 o'clock onwards, because, like, my mum and dad were into having big Christmas parties, and I wasn't, like, old enough to go.
Right.
So they'd say, right, you know, you've had your fun there, you go up to your bedroom, stay in there. And,
Really?
yeah, I remember one year, right, I got a train set, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right? It's brilliant. Playing with it all day. I thought, I don't mind about the party, I'm happy staying up here, playing with this. Brother comes in, he's had a few, right, he's going, yeah, give us a go on your train.
How old is he?
He's a bit older than me, so he might have been like, let's see.
Well, let him be
must
18.
Yeah, probably about 18, 19,
And how old
something
were
like that. I had a train set, so, I don't know, about
14.
something like that, right, so I'm playing on that, loving it and stuff, and then he comes in and goes, oh, give us a go. He turns the transformer up to, like, 14. He went really fast for about 5 seconds, broke it, and then he went back downstairs.
Wow.
So Christmas, I hadn't even got to
Sounds like
Christmas Day.
the Conservative government with British Rail.
Satire, that is.
Satiric, I just thought that there's satire.
It's
There's only satirical shows listening or
it doesn't work. It
magazines.
doesn't work in any way because there's the analogy falls down apart from there being a train.
Think it through though, British Rail was trains.
Yeah.
And the government broke the trains in many, well, they didn't break them, like, not officially breaking them, but they kind of...
It does work. It's perfect.
Oh, I'm pretty pleased with that.
And I can't. And no one's asked him to be on the Have I Got News For You.
It's weird, isn't it?
Because
It's strange that, when
Yeah.
you've got a satirical mind that's as quick as that.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
he's broke your little train set. And so what did you do?
I just like watched telly and had some sausages.
I bet you were happy with that though, weren't you?
It's a bit annoying though, isn't it, when your main present of the year's been broke.
And
then,
did it ever get it fixed?
No, that was it. Put away.
I'm intrigued why your parents wouldn't let you come and join in the festive fun. Was it like really debauched down there? Was it like eggnog everywhere? And
Well, no, but I mean, that's fair enough. 6 seems a little bit early, but I just think, you know, if you're your kid, you know, he had his fun, put him to bed at 8 maybe. And
you
you
think
won't.
so on Christmas Day? I thought that was a day for family.
Well, not if there's a party going on.
And
Well,
then
don't have the party on to Christmas Day. is
Well,
my point.
that's another option.
Yeah. Your parents are weird, aren't they? They're strange.
which gets us on to educating Ricky.
Oh, excellent, slick.
We've had a good year of stuff. Teaching
We have,
stuff.
well, yeah, I've learned a lot.
Can you remember any of the
Of course I
highlights?
can. There was a deaf girl and she hit her head and she could hear.
Yeah.
There was also some people who ate tomatoes thought they were poisonous on lead. There was also a doctor who gave a blood transfusion with some parrots from the pet store.
Yeah.
Because the doctor in America, and it was the olden days when the lines were bad, said give him his parents' blood, and the doctor this side thought said give him some parrot's blood. So that was true, and that educated me.
That was fact. What have you got for us?
Well, we've only got two because I've taught you about jellyfish today that we need them. So we've only got two things to go at, and I give them a little headline so you remember them to make them snappy. The two headlines you've got: oh, what a catastrophe.
Okay.
And the second one is, well, you'd think it'd be Bughead, wouldn't you?
What?
Well, you'd think it'd be Bughead, wouldn't you?
You'd think it beat
No, you'd think it'd be.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be Buggered, wouldn't you?
Bughead.
Bughead.
This can't be. If this is anything with a bug living without a head, I'm not interested because we've done it. All you've done is
Well, let's just do what a cat.
So it is that. Well, do that
give
one
us the
first.
Bughead one.
Which one? Which one are we
No,
doing?
do the bughead one.
Right. Well, the Bughead one. Well, we've talked a lot about animals and that, haven't we? Without heads.
Surprisingly, we have. I think a disproportionate amount on it.
If you're a new listener, and this is the first time you listen, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, we've done all that. We've covered worms. The way if you cut their head off, it grows back. If you don't cut too high above its neck. We've covered
The chicken.
the fella who blinked.
Yeah. I can't go into it again.
Right.
Let's not go into it again.
We've had the chicken with no head that lived for 8 months.
Yeah.
And we've had
And we've had the
cockroaches.
cockroaches living for a week without an head.
Right, okay.
Well, it's a bit more on the cockroach front, really.
Right.
They found, right, that if you get a cockroach
Yeah.
and you cut its head off,
Yeah.
right, and then you find a cockroach that's still got its head, but it hasn't got any legs,
Right.
right, it's not over for both of them, right? Because what you can do, you get the one that's got the legs
Right.
with no head,
Yeah.
sort of running around, get the one with the head,
Uh-huh.
sit it on top of it,
Right.
get a little tube,
Okay.
so that the fluids.
So is this auntie's go out of the
Let him
room?
finish.
This is like Blue Peter.
Let him
You could get this for Christmas.
Right, you
Yeah.
get a little tube, you sit that on top so the bodily fluids are still running between the two.
Right.
The head of the one on the top will control the feet of the one on the bottom.
Okay.
What about
Good.
And, will it continue to live?
that? Yeah.
Okay, you don't know that for sure, do you? Just guessing.
That was just a
No,
question out of the
that's-
blue he wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
It's good, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's just a primitive nervous system that can, yeah. Yeah.
Did you expect us to be more impressed and excited by that? Did you fall off your chair when you read that? Did you literally topple off? Going,
Did you
"Whoa," like a cartoon?
think you were going to be the Frankenstein of the insect world?
Yeah.
No, I just was thinking if they can do that, you know,
With them, can they do it with
them,
humans?
humans? Because I also did a bit of research
course
on.
you did.
Did you come to the sort of conclusion that apart from the moral aspect of it, that the human was probably more complicated than?
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Things move on, don't they? Do you know what I
Modern
mean?
science, Rick.
You know, I had Binatone as a kid. Now they've got PlayStation 2, and the difference in 10 years.
They
is
have
amazing.
found that if you lose your head, a cockroach can live normally on your body, but not the other way around. Your head on it cannot control its legs because it's
Yeah.
too complicated
It's
for
too
your
confusing.
brain. So, yeah.
Well, then other research. Because I thought if you don't learn from that, I'll give you something else for free, right?
Go on.
Free. That they can clone people.
Uh-huh.
The only reason they don't do it, right? Say if like Ricky needed a lung, right? They could clone you and make you the same. But the only reason they don't want to do it is because it'd be a bit horrible, wouldn't it? So
And it would take sort of 18 years for me to get an adult lung.
And there's all kinds of moral implications.
yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? You hadn't thought of that?
Because lest we forget, Rick, he ended with the only reason they don't do it is because it's a bit horrible and that. Which scientist said that?
Right, let's
That's
leave
a
that then.
quote.
Right.
Understand what that-
That's not it. That's not the other one.
That's it.
No, that was just, you know,
We've got another one to come.
Oh, I
Take us
can't
to
wait.
the headline again. What was the headline
the
again?
headline, oh, what a catastrophe.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, a bit more counsel. This is from his covers album. This is called Snowbird.
He's so happy that the XFM listeners understand his stupid clues, and he knows it annoys me.
We've got some right answers
we'll be
for
giving out the
Blockbusters.
answers just quickly, just in case someone sort of missed one of them. I'll just quickly do them, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
First one, there's a load
Your
of letters.
show.
There's a load of letters there asking for advice. Put them on Claire's desk.
Oh, and Merry Christmas.
Ask your mum if you should.
Oh, and Merry Christmas.
And a couple of people were arguing in the supermarket.
It was
at the fruit
Christmas,
and
that's
veg
why.
counter. And that's B.
Okay, we'll give those answers out shortly.
Yeah.
I just have to show you something, Rick, before we move on. I know we've got another Educating Ricky, but someone just sent this in. They've been looking on eBay for Victoria Plum.
You're joking?
Come here and see the photograph.
Oh, God, that's fantastic. Hold on. Let's have a look.
That's it.
Oh, God, he got that for his mum.
It's the worst piece of tat I've ever seen.
Carl! Oh, Carl. Imagine how... Oh,
Gutted.
Carl. Imagine how... Look, think of him now, right?
There it is.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'll tell you, it looks like a Diddy man gone wrong.
It's
it looks like
extraordinary.
a Diddy man prostitute. That is...
Is that the one, Carl? Is that...
Well, it was a different colour. I had a yellow at mine.
No, but look, how do they get... Tell them they
Okay,
go
so,
going to eBay.
So you need to log on to ebay.co.uk. I'm sure you've used it before. It's the online marketplace, ebay.co.uk. And if you type in Victoria Plum, I'm assuming that you can track this
yeah,
down.
That's amazing.
It's the worst piece of
Oh,
rubbish
just
I've ever
think
seen.
how cute he was as a kid, though, doing that. Just think of him, just going... just seeing that and thinking, oh, like, he likes gnomes! It's the worst thing I've ever seen!
I mean, to be fair, I mean, I don't know what her prize collection of gnomes looks like, but I can't imagine they're much better than that. I mean, gnomes are a fairly grotesque thing. But certainly your mum's taste and discretion is...
Did you ever, those houses on your estate, you'd go in there and it was just loads of those dolls still in their packaging all around the room? And sort of like, one of those homes that keeps the, sort of packaging on the three-piece suite.
Why don't you buy another one for her for Christmas?
Yeah.
Just
It's $3.99. It looks well. That's £2.49 because that was $3.99.
well,
Oh, buy it, Carl.
No, 'cause I've sorted out her passport this year anyway. I'll get her that next year. Right, so listen, right?
Okay.
So, best educating Ricky of the year.
Oh, Christ.
What a cat toast.
Yeah, let's do that then.
Right.
Victoria Plum.
There's this woman, right?
Yeah.
This woman, she's reading Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah.
And she's flicking through.
Yeah.
And she notices that there's a world record for a cat, right, with 27 toes, right? So she reads it and she thinks, well, that's not right, because her cat's got 28.
What do you mean a cat's got 28?
Her cat's got 28 toes. So she was like, well, hang on a minute, mine should be in there. So there was
I missed the very beginning of this.
She's looking
She's looking at the Guinness Book of Records.
Oh,
Sees the
woman.
record.
A woman was looking through the Guinness Book of
The
Records.
woman with the cat with 28 toes looking through, and it said the record for the cat's toes was 27. She thought, hold on. Hold on a minute, Ross McWhirter. My cat's got one more than that cat, so go on.
Anyway, so she said, you know, the person doing the interview with her said, you know, is it happy? And she said, yeah, you know, it's great, and it's really good in the snow.
Right. It gets you a lot of nail varnish.
Well, you know, that's what it said, right? It said it's really good in the snow. So, I just was thinking, I mean, that's it, really.
That's not it.
That's the end of that story. But
Brilliant.
But what I'm thinking is, right...
It was two cats welded together.
No, she said, you know, it's happy. So, is the other sort of disabilities where, in a way, it's not all bad?
Oh, Christ.
No, do you know, like, that book Steve brought in for me? And there was a fella there, wasn't he, who had 3 legs, who was a juggler. And I was like, what's the point of that?
What do you mean, what's the point of that? What's the point
Well,
of
he's
what?
not taking advantage of having 3 legs, is he, being a juggler?
Yeah, he said he should be a footballer.
Right? So, no, but in a way, he's used it, hasn't he? He's probably not even that good at juggling. But because he's got 3 legs, people have gone, well, I'll give him a chance. Let's go and see him anyway, see if he's any good.
Yeah.
Right? So, what I'm thinking is there anything else? We've mentioned, the midgets today who are good at robbing cars. Because they can get through the windows like Dukes of Hazzard.
Sorry, so listen, look, I'd just like to say, this is the Radio Authority listening, we are in no way suggesting that one midget's forte in life is robbing cars, or that if you're a midget sitting at home feeling sorry for something, you should go out robbing cars. I'd just like to say, this is Karl Pilkington talking.
The views of Karl Pilkington do not necessarily reflect those of XFM or us.
Yeah, but it was a TV programme, so it's not me, I'm just saying what I've seen on
That
telly.
you didn't see.
That somebody told me about.
Yeah, just so you could be wrong, just like a lot of your spurious facts that you just see on the internet, you know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else? We've seen the fellow with 3 legs.
So what you're saying is there a disability that is actually an advantage?
Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
okay.
Steve mentioned about the disabled loo. They're always really roomy and like got multi-gym facilities in them.
Multi-gym facilities!
No, do you know what I mean?
Multi-gym facilities! What do you mean, Carl?
There's always bars everywhere and that, isn't there?
That's not parallel bars.
Yeah,
That's
they
to help
don't
them
do
get up.
gymnastics!
What in there working
Yeah,
out?
but I'm just saying though, do you know what I mean? So in a way, they've got that. So always, what I'm saying is, when you look on the brighter side, it's like Elephant Man would have never got up and gone, oh, look at my hair today.
Nor do you!
No, but, do you know what I mean? He would never have that problem.
You're a maniac.
Forget it. I thought we'd be able to get a serious discussion going here.
Well, okay then. So this is a serious discussion, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's treat it sensitively then. If you really want a serious discussion and talk about whether there are some disabilities that are an advantage, let's think of some then, shall we?
Well, I've said 3 already.
Yeah. You can't say if you're deaf, Bobby Davro won't annoy you. That doesn't count as an advantage. Do you understand? Do you know what I mean?
Carl's looking at you thinking, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we'll leave it then. I'll come up with a better feature for next year. We'll bin that.
So, if you've got any
We've
disabilities...
been that like that was going to be a feature.
What, you were hoping that would be a spin-off feature? Disabilities are actually
Well, it's
an
another
advantage.
form of do we need them? It's like...
But that's Carl, think of it, it's like that joke, a bloke that, as his wakes up in hospital, says, good news and bad news. Bad news is we've had to amputate both legs. What's the good news? The fella in the next bed wants to buy you slippers. See, that's not an advantage. It's a joke. That doesn't really happen. People don't go, oh, that is good news. Yeah, I'll probably get a quid from him. Do you know what I mean?
But the fellow with 3 feet, what would he do?
Well, he'd buy a pair and then just nick one of those because they put out one shoe, don't they? Are those, yeah, if you've got one leg, you can nick shoes. Good point,
Right,
Carl.
now I'm getting you thinking.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll do Rockbusters answers next then.
Happy Christmas, war's over and all that.
Indeed. Yeah.
Brilliant tune.
Great tune. And
Well,
wonderful sentiments.
I've had a great time. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope we haven't offended you by some of Carl's rantings. Just think of what he's gone through in his life. That Victoria Plum incident.
Carl, I've got a little gift for you here before we go.
Oh, you're joking. I haven't got you anything.
Well, no, I don't. You haven't got your girlfriend anything. It's not too much. It's not exciting, but it's worth taking. In fact, why don't you just re-gift that straight away?
It's alright, cheers for that.
He hasn't even looked at it.
It's champagne.
That's not the champagne we got free from the BBC, is it?
It's not actually, no, Rick, because that is far too good for the likes of Carl.
Oh, right.
And I wasn't good, so you wouldn't appreciate it. That's just sparkling wine.
Oh,
you know?
brilliant. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything.
I'm seeing Carl on Christmas Day, because, he's around Christmas Day in London, so I'll get a little gift then, Carl.
Alright.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? It'd be a nice little...
Okay, answers. We must give the answers.
You would have to go to bed at 6, though, so we can play.
So, can we finish there now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you mean? What do you mean, can we finish there now?
Just play the ads and go.
What? No, what are you talking about? We're going to play Johnny
Alright,
Nicholas
we'll play
all
that
day.
Play that then.
Goodness me, Carl, look at you.
We haven't got time.
Merry Christmas, Carl.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas,
yeah,
Carl.
Enjoy the champagne.
Let's give him a little kiss.
Oh, a little kiss.
Oh, no, I
with tongues, it's Christmas.
Stop messing about.
He said, that Ollie's record, Ian Evie's my brother, what's that about then? And I went, I don't know, I heard, it was about someone who had a disabled brother, and, it was lifting him in and out of a car or something, and someone said, oh, do you want a hand? And he went, no, he's not heavy, he's my brother. I.e., this isn't a burden for me.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Carl, what did you say?
I'd say...
No, I'll tell you what he said. He went, well, that's ridiculous, he was still heavy. And he said, don't turn down help.
Which... We were talking about that because a new feature we're starting about this time every week.
Oh, yeah.
We start about this time every week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do, that song's got a good story.
Okay.
Yeah, love it, snappy. Go on, go on.
And, there's loads of songs out there, isn't there, with songs that you couldn't fade out. When you hear them on the radio and that, you don't want anyone to talk over the start or the end.
Yeah.
Because
oh,
it's
but remember we did this once before with, Killing a Georgie by, Rod Stewart?
Yeah.
And I was a bit worried that it might have been a true story, because we were, you know, joking about it. And, he went, oh, you know that Killing a Georgie? He went, I think it is a true story. I went, why? He went, I listened to it again, and Rod Stewart at the beginning says, this is one of my best friends. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's genius.
So there's loads of songs out there, and what I want to do, we want to get the audience involved in this, so if you've got, like, a favourite song that's got a really good
If you've got an
story,
audience. Yeah, go on.
and they email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, and they say what the song is now.
What would examples be then?
Examples, ones that jump to mind straight away for me, Elvis, In the Ghetto.
Yeah, good one.
Brilliant.
Andrew Gold, Lonely Boy.
Absolutely.
Don't know that one.
Eminem, Stan.
Right. Yeah. Good one. You couldn't fade it out, could you? Because you go, well, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. Not just any sort of pop song that keeps repeating itself. And, you know, it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it skips or, you know what I mean, if you turn the radio off.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about
Ernie,
songs.
the fastest milk in the world.
Yeah, that is a good story. That is a good story. Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know that one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a story, yeah.
Ted from Teddington, he drove the baker's van.
Well,
So what have we got then? Have we got one?
so we're going to kick it off today with, Stevie Wonder, Living Just Enough for the City.
Okay.
And, just briefly.
Sum it up. Right,
Yeah.
if you are nipping out, maybe you're in the car and you're about to pull up somewhere and get out, what it's all about is a lad who's growing up in, like, America in some rough area, right? And, he's trying his best to do well and get a job and everything, but because of where he's from, it's stopping him doing that, right? It's like how I grew up on an estate in Manchester. I had to leave there and come to London to do alright for myself, right? And it's his whole family, and it's a tale of, like, how his mum works dead hard and works loads of hours, but the kids are always well dressed and cleaned. It doesn't mean just because you haven't got a good job, you let your house run down. Do you know what I mean? She's looking after it. The sister, you know, she hasn't got new clothes, but they're always clean, and her knees are clean, I think it says in one point.
Excellent. Clean knees, always important.
So will we give it a listen? Let everyone
Brilliant,
hear
it's
it?
a
Well, I
great
don't
track.
think Stevie can do it justice. After that explanation.
Right, so
I'm not sure he's
I
going
hope
to
he
top
uses
that.
like some sort of like backing tune to try and.
Try and pep it up a bit, 'cause
Yeah.
you have really knocked it the socks off
so-
it.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward to the
right, here
clean
we go
knees.
then. It's a new feature.
What is it called again?
The story in that song's really good. Here's Stevie Wonder. Like songs with good stories that you can't fade out.
Although you can heavily edit them for
Yeah, I
the.
noticed you didn't play the full version, which
No,
has
it's
obviously
radio.
got the complete story in. You've just played a
I haven't heard the other. That's
single
all I
version.
know.
Well, in the album version,
He gets
goes to jail.
abducted. He gets abducted as well, and he comes back with a big beard.
Yeah, and he's
No.
covered in hair. No,
Yeah.
he gets arrested and goes to jail. But it's just it's just because he gets picked up because he's black and he hasn't done anything wrong. There's a whole other
never
there's a whole
heard
other
that
sort
one.
of section.
Maybe we should change this section.
No, what we'll do, right?
Abridged versions of songs.
Yeah.
No, next week we'll play the second bit, and it'll be like Star Wars or something like that.
So, go on.
Remember last week we
Yeah.
started a new feature
Yeah.
called "That Song's Got a Good Story in It," and
Brilliant. I love your catchy titles. They're excellent.
right, and the idea was it was a story in
Yeah.
a song, which meant that if it was played on the radio, you couldn't just like fade it out because you've got to have the full story.
Yeah.
Right. Well, last week we started the feature with Stevie Wonder, "Living for the City."
Yeah.
Right.
But you played the version where it fades out.
Yeah, I didn't know there was more to it, so Steve told me what album it was on.
Yeah.
I've gone and got it. We've got the second half to that story
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
So you've got half the story. What was it? What had happened is like the lad's living in Mississippi. There's not much going on there.
Mississippi. That's someone off Rainbow's mum. Living what? Mississippi.
Yeah. His dad's his man was a cleaner.
Yeah.
Trying to get by. They didn't have a great life, but they still looked after the kids and
Yes.
stuff. There's more to it than that.
Have you got it ready?
There's more to it than that.
I'm getting ready.
I should hope so.
We'll probably do it at about 11:30.
So look forward
Okay.
to that, the second half
got
of
that.
Stevie Wonder's Living for the City a week later. I love a show that's carefully planned. So listen, I watched the
This isn't a show. This isn't a show. This isn't a radio show. This is.
I don't know what this is.
No, I don't know what it is. We just might as well start banging tambourines and it's ridiculous. This is rubbish, right? But wait, like, some people emailed in, put him in a wheelie bin, went to Blackpool, right? Some people emailed in the stories, songs with stories in it. One of them was Babushka, and he went, "What's that?" And I went to ask Katie Bush, "What is it?" I said, "Oh, it's about a woman who dresses up as another woman and seduces her husband." He went, "They wouldn't work." Just dismissed it like that. Why didn't you think it would work?
Because you'd know. I mean, say like, right, Suzanne, right, who I
Yeah.
go out with,
Yeah.
right? She can see me from, say if I'm coming down the high street,
Yeah.
she knows it's me by the way I walk.
Right.
So, just the fact that this woman went and put a wig on, there is no...
You haven't even heard the song!
I know, but you're saying that she put a disguise on and he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I fancy her, and he takes her out, and he doesn't know it's his missus. It's just...
You're not buying it.
I mean, I'm controlling this
Whereas
feature.
the flea with your brain going to Glasgow, perfect sense.
So last week, yeah, you were playing your feature, that song I shouldn't switch off because I'm enjoying the story.
Yeah.
And we played Living for the City, only you played the single mix, which doesn't have the entire second act, if
Yeah.
you will. So, Carl, you've not heard it before.
I've
You're
never heard
excited.
it before.
You're excited to hear the second act because, as far as you're aware, there was a young guy. He's living with his family. They're fairly impoverished in Mississippi, but you know they're happy. They're getting on all right. But you're not even aware that he's moving to the big city.
No, it just fades out.
Well, that's the city in question.
I mean, I've liked this song for, must be, 3 or 4 years, and I've always listened to the single version. I had no idea that I didn't know the full story. So,
Yeah. It's not. I mean, and I know your attention to detail. You like to know the full story, like where everything.
well, the
was
whole
and-
idea of the feature is to say,
Yeah.
you've got to listen
Where
to the
was the
song.
lead plate thing? Where was the lead plate thing? Where was the lead plate thing?
That was like a few years
Where?
back in,
Where was it? Where was
in
it?
Britain and Scotland.
Yeah.
It was a problem all over the world. They had to deal with it.
You're making it up now.
Is it
So-
something you saw in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Right. So anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Lion and the Witch. Yeah. Go on.
Go on.
so far then, what did we learn in this story from
We
Stevie
learned so
Wonder?
far from Stevie that there's a young lad, as I say, he's got a family, he's fairly happy, except they're very poor, and they struggle to get by, but they're happy, they're doing it anyway. He's moving to the big city. Carl, this is the bit you didn't realise. Just play the track.
Okay, here we go. So this is halfway through.
This is
now,
halfway
yeah?
through the tune now. This is, you've not heard this before, have you?
Let's go.
Sorry, we accidentally played an episode of Kojak. By mistake. We were going to play a song.
Carl, what did you make of that then?
Yeah, what's happening there then?
Eh? He was living with his family, he was fairly impoverished.
Went
He's
on a
moved
bus,
to
that
the new...
bus he was on, was it?
Right, so
So what's your take on it, Carl?
After hearing that, what I've worked out by it, the first part that we heard last week, everything's alright, but it's not that great living in Mississippi, right? So he goes, oh, I'm gonna go to New York. There's plenty of work there.
Yeah.
They'll sort of accept me as, you know, and everything. So he goes there, and, the weird thing is, he's hardly, like, been in New York for a second. He gets on a bus, all of a sudden some cop is arresting him. He's like, what's going on? And then he's got 10 years. I mean, what you can't hear, because the levels are quite bad. I mean, I work with sound. I can't really hear what's going on.
You're criticising
I'm
Stevie
sort
Wonder
of
there.
guessing that he didn't pay his bus fare or something. And,
10 years!
He got 10 years for that.
I really don't know what was going on.
Right. But you're not happy, because obviously it's quite
Do you think Stevie Wonder left out some vital ingredients in the story, in your education? Like where it was, or... at least he got where it was. You can tell what year it is. It's, right in the mid-70s there, that funky New York 70s sound.
Alright.
Yeah.
You're pretty disappointed, aren't you? You're pretty worried, because...
So what went on?
Yeah.
What
You know,
happened?
well, you're aware, Carl, because that shows quite a bad image of New York. It's quite an intolerant city, by all accounts there. He arrested a guy,
But it is quite
seemingly
bad,
for
'cause
being black.
That's one song where you shouldn't go to New York. Killing a Georgie Rod Stewart. That lad, he was doing alright in Scotland and said, I'm gonna go to the big city. He got done in.
Yeah.
Seems to me it's that you don't go there if you've got, like, problems, don't think New York's the answer.
Right.
Oh, hold on, yeah. So what you're saying, that if you're a bit fed up with your life, but you live with your mum and she's, like, really nice and you got friends, and life's not that bad,
Yeah.
don't go and be murdered, or what? What are you saying? Don't go and be murdered.
Well,
don't
leave
what? Go on.
Leave home, but don't go to New York.
Right.
There's other places.
Where would you go? Sheffield?
Don't know, but...
Yeah.
But
So-
you're a little mank lad, weren't you? You're in your garden. We had your train set. Your brother blew up. There was a horse next door, and you thought, oh, I want to go to London. So, do you know what I mean? You're like that.
Yeah, but...
You're
first of all-
in many ways like the fella
Yeah,
in
well,
that
for-
song, and like Georgie.
No, because
In many ways, you are a bit like Georgie, aren't you?
I had a car, so...
No, are you a little bit like Georgie in many
no,
ways?
I didn't get on a bus, I had a car. So, I wasn't gonna have the problem he had, for a start.
Right.
But, I mean, I suppose there's loads of things you can look at that story and take out of it. That's what I like about the feature, right?
Radiohead, Let Down, off OK Computer. Apparently we missed a gig on that gig guide. Drip Feed are playing the Rock Garden on the 21st of this month.
Excellent.
So, the lead singer just called in with that. He also, left a quote with me, apparently, Coleridge said of Keats, wasn't it? He's, like an archangel slightly damaged.
Rick,
See,
I'm worried we're getting a little bit highbrow.
Do you reckon?
Have you got any knob gags you could do, quickly? Because I'm just thinking we're switching, there's a lot of people that are going to be turning off. I mean, currently on Capital FM, Chris Tarrant and Dr. Neil Fox, together at last. The
At
partnership we've
last,
always
they
wanted.
said it would never happen. Do you know what I'd like to see together? That breakfast DJ, Sarah
Cox.
and who's the dancer? Just Carl.
That'll be Carl Cox.
Carl, please, why are you suddenly saying these rude words? We've been reprimanded
Yeah,
once,
don't
Carl,
say
please.
that, and don't say it so aggressively, because it sounds like you're saying Cox aggressively.
Come on, we've been reprimanded.
Yeah.
Alright? Just don't use language like that.
That's
okay,
annoying
man?
me.
Come on.
Why is it annoying you?
Because-
We're talking about DJs. That's their
Yeah.
names.
You try to be clever.
I hardly think that's clever.
You've given me
Yeah, if that's my best attempt at being clever.
I've got rubbish homework this week.
Okay, he's really upset about
Really
this.
upset.
He was looking forward to animal fat.
You said you were going to bring in that big book, 500.
It's so... I got it off one of those bargain books.
Oh,
I thought
what?
it'd be easy, right? Because but it's too elementary.
No, but that's more useful than that to me.
But it's things like the tortoise has a shell to protect it.
That's good.
Yeah, but you know...
Because you thought it was there just to be painted on the tip.
Oh, have you ever peeled a tortoise? They fly, they go about 400 miles an hour. It's to weigh them down because they're the fastest lizards known to man.
Exactly.
Honestly, they run so fast they can go through walls.
Yeah.
And so their shells put on them in the hospital, in the maternity ward, at a very early age, just slow them down. You let a tortoise shout and you won't catch it.
Steve, do you know that turtles can breathe out the bum?
Turtles can breathe out of their bum. I know someone who can talk out of it, but didn't realise that.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that. How do they do
That's
that?
it, that's all I know. They go, when they go swimming, they can sort of, if they don't want to stick their head out, they can just...
Stick their arse out.
Why don't they want to stick their head out?
Just I don't know, maybe they need to be looking for food under the water.
Yeah.
And if they stick their head up to get some air, they might miss something.
Wouldn't it be easier to have an arse that could forage for food? So they could sort of like lounge in the pool like a jacuzzi and they're looking around going, alright, hello, hiya, and meanwhile its arse is like munching grass.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be easier?
Bad breath.
Well, I wish I understood what that meant.
Yeah.
In all this
It's like a
hilarity,
quote, isn't it?
but in all that this hilarity, I'm worried we've forgotten the true meaning of Easter. No, come on, Rick, come on. You're just, you're being frothy and lightweight and a little bit rude, but it's a time for remembering
And chocolate.
that someone did die for our sins.
Yeah.
So can we just
Be ashamed to disappoint him.
can we just think about that and just take a moment just to consider that?
Yeah, can we do that?
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
You understand the true meaning of Easter? It's not just about eggs and bunnies. You understand it, don't you?
Yeah.
What's your memory of it? What's your understanding of it, Carl?
Then what do you-
Easter. What's it all about for you?
What did you have to do at school? Did you have to do anything at school?
I think we got a long weekend off.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
What did they call that weekend?
Easter weekend.
Brilliant.
Okay. And what was the reason for that? Why do we have Easter weekend off?
Jesus.
Yeah. But what did he do?
He put himself on the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, he didn't put himself on.
no.
Does it mean anything to you? Are you moved by that story?
Again, too long ago for me to sort of,
Okay. To worry
relate to
about
it.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, if there'd been an Anderson shouter involved,
Yeah.
you'd have been there, wouldn't you? You're not well today, are you, Carl?
Not at all. Don't know
No.
what's wrong with me today. I've got a bit of a temperature.
Have you?
Do you know Steve, he's always on the go at me. Last night when we were out with his mates,
Yeah.
they said he's a bit of a hypochondriac himself.
Did they?
Yeah.
What did they say? What were they saying?
He said, I said, Steve's told me he's not feeling well. Is he alright? You live with him? He said, oh, don't worry about that.
Really?
He's always saying that, and I said, that's a bit of a fable. I said, cry wolf.
Yeah. One day they say I've got a temperature, and they go, oh, I've had the Lemsip, and he'll die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've learnt my lesson.
Yeah. There was one about the boy who cried wolf. The moral can surely only be never tell the same lie twice. You know what I mean? Because if he'd have come up with a different one, he'd have kept them going all year, I reckon.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that before.
What are we gonna play?
A final tune. Have we got, we got a bit of Suede, haven't we?
Well, it depends.
Let's get a bit of Suede in and song for the ladies.
I
Let's
don't
go
think
over.
we can't
What's
go.
what
Song
is
for
it?
the ladies
It's
is
only
very
the football
short.
one. It's only the football.
Don't say that. Yeah, give us your song.
What's the football? What's the match? What's this? The gig guide is Long Wave and Guapo and Plankos. What's this? What's the football match? So what are the football matches XFM covering?
Don't know. What
Come
song
on.
would you like?
Track 8.
So Bolton versus Barnsley.
You don't like sport, though, do you? A lot
Well-
of people who do.
Huh?
A lot of people who do. Right, track 8, what are we going for then?
We're going for, it's a bit of Stevie Wonder.
Yeah?
And, I think it's quite a short song though, Carl. Are you sure?
Yeah, that's cool, yeah, it's
It's
cool.
okay, you're okay, are you?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the final song, is
This lost a lot of energy, this show.
This is it.
I mean, the first hour and 40 minutes, I think, was dynamite. I think the last 10 have been,
But I
flagging.
mean, Carl, he was full of life, he was answering the questions and stuff, and now
And he got fed up with the quotations. He didn't like us mentioning, Radio 1 DJs, such as Sarah
Cox.
and Carl.
Oh, Cox?
Yeah, he didn't like that.